Hey everybody, Carrie Cox here. I am talking to you about toxins. Yay! I know none of you want to be thinking about this right now because we're going into the holidays and people just want to be able to do what they want to do. But there's simple things that you can do, even if you're not avoiding the treats and all that. But if you can focus on your quality and even look at certain environmental things, you can make a big difference within your toxic level. But this is also a time where we go and we tend to splurge, and then people want to detoxify. This is a great time of year. Depending on toxic loads on people will depend on how often you should detoxify. Some of us are exposed to things on a regular basis. We have certain jobs that have us around toxicity. People who are working in salons, people who are doing nail techs, people who are painters, people who are just dealing with a lot of chemicals themselves, even gas station workers, things like that, because you're exposed to a lot of the fumes and things like that that are overwhelming the system. So, dependent on how often you're exposed to those kind of things, will depend on whether or not you should. Sorry, I'm going to grab something. Whether or not you should, how often you should detoxify itself. I grabbed the wrong one. There is a questionnaire I often will do with people, dependent on like their toxic loads themselves. How often are you spraying for bugs? How often are you exposed to fumes? How often do you have exposure to highly aggressive chemicals for cleaning or otherwise? If you have yeses or often, regular, weekly occurrence to any of these things, or like you're doing hair, so therefore dyes and different things like that, you have high exposure to. How often do you eat organic foods? Are you eating out all the time? If you're eating out all the time, you're going to want to detoxify more than if you're someone who is eating organic foods that you're making yourself. You're taking precautions when it comes to the containers and things that you're using. So, depending on how much of a daily occurrence you're having of toxins, even your daily, like perfumes and things that we're applying to our face and our skin, different things like that, those can increase that toxic load. And most of us don't even look at that, like the scents we put all throughout our home. They are really negatively impacting that pituitary and greatly impacting your sickness and health. um, Doing more natural essential oils, or even those little glass containers where you're boiling the fruits and such of cinnamon and vanilla and things like that that are natural scents, that's the way to do it. If you're someone who douses yourself in perfume, you have a lot of fabric softeners. If you have a lot of smelly good things, I know a lot of people are so paranoid about how they smell that they douse themselves in scents. My husband is one of those. Anyway, a lot of people do that. You don't want to smell. I get it. But there's natural ways of doing that with essential oils and natural things to our environment rather than overloading our system. And we don't understand how crucial those smells are impacting our ability for hormones, our digestion function, and all these things. But anyway, based on your toxic load will be how often. People who are trying to conceive, it is highly, highly important for both you and your spouse to do detoxification, because as parents, we will be dumping our toxins into our child. We want to give our child the best start it is, and they're finding more and more babies are being born with like 200 plus toxins in that umbilical cord, and they're just overloaded just from the very get go. So you limiting that, supporting good bacteria, detoxifying and flushing things out of your body means less that you will dump into children. Your first child is the one who's going to take the biggest brunt, because it will take all the toxins you're stored and haven't dealt with from your birth till the time of that first baby itself, unless you've taken good effort to detoxify the body itself. So, pregnancy, I recommend people are doing 6 months prior to wanting to conceive or having baby. You're doing things like a GAPS diet where you're helping the body detoxify, rebuilding the organs, you're supporting the proteins, you're helping boost up all your detoxifying organs and limiting down your toxins and looking at them. And there's many ways you can go about this. So again, I'm not just talking about, if you're eating sugar or things like that, but like the quality of your foods. Um, the places that we're getting these in, there's a lot of different ways we're getting in. We have our air. pollutants, which I kind of was addressing at first. We have additives that were coming in and through our foods. We have drugs and alcohol. So, like if you're someone who's been on heavy medications for pains or whatever the case may be, these are things that also are going to carry heavy metals and different things that you're going to want to detoxify from. Personal care. Look through your personal care. There is this app that is so, I just did this today with my oldest. We were at the store. She was talking about wanting a primer for her makeup, and I went into the EWG Healthy Living app. There's also another one you can do, and I went into just the personal care. I just went into see all. Oh no, that's the different one. Personal care. See all, and it gives you an option of where you want to select. So then I went into makeup, and then it gives you options again, and I went to face, then it goes and gives you a list again. Then I went to makeup primers, and I can look at the top ones they've rated. And then I can look around what I have access to and find one, or I can order online. For us, it was at Target, they had this one as a primer, which is got a good rating. It's verified through them. And so we got her that one. And it tells you even like you can go buy it on Amazon itself. So this is a great way if you're looking for improving your personal care, like your shampoos, your conditioner, your body wash, different things like that, and go towards a more natural, even like your laundry detergents, chemicals you're using around your house. This is a great tool. There is another one in a book that I was listening to. It's called The Toxic Solutions, and it's called Think Dirty. Oh, Think Dirty. It is also going to be similar to that, and it's helping you find cleaner options. And it goes in, it's giving me at the top, it has different options you can do. These are free apps that can help guide you and have something getting your environment better. These are things you should be doing to detoxify the body, and especially for those who are pregnant. Trying to give baby the best start is so important. You can deal with it. I mean, there's things that you can't ultimately 100% avoid, but the less you have stored in your fat tissue, because that it can take a while for your body to detox. That's why I say 6 months of like working towards detoxifying the body, supporting the organs to metabolize things and flush them, making sure all those detoxifying organs are working. It's a very smart idea. Nobody wants to hand that stuff to their child. And then plastics, BPAs. A lot of our clothing anymore has a forever chemicals. Trying to buy things, the cotton, more natural things, um, less dyes and such like that. It's important. I know that can be kind of an expensive one, so it's just look at your sourcing and try to do better. A lot of even our furnitures and things like that will have like your fire retardants and such on it that can cause a lot of toxicity. So you're just doing the best you can with the options you have as well. Plastics you can easily do where you're drinking out of stainless steel, you're storing things in glass containers, you're getting rid of your non-stick pans, going for stainless steel or the cast iron, things that are not going to bleed off into your food. Get rid of your plastic cutting boards and go for wood cutting boards. Get rid of your plastic spatulas and go for wood as well. You're just looking for better things that are going to be in your food and just lessening that toxic load. When we are going through the detoxification, there are main areas: your skin, your liver, your kidneys, and these different areas of where things are coming in can depend on what is being weighed down. Your lungs will also be something that can be very much affected at this time of year. Boosting even your lung health, getting the actual quality vitamin C, using mullein, different things like that can help boost that lung capacity and support your body being able to do that. To get into real specifics, I don't like to give 100% protocols because everyone, based on what they're exposed to, can depend on what they need. And you have to be able to, the biggest things you want to do, gut, support your gut. getting in your bone broths, getting in your fermented foods, not necessarily needing a whole bunch of overdose of probiotics itself, but the fermented foods will have the probiotics in that. And then doing glutamine, doing things that support that gut wall, your proteins, your fats, even pulling back from a lot of processed foods, heavily processed foods, using more raw foods that you're creating yourself, using your own spices, things like that can make a big difference. Supporting your liver, your skin, your kidneys, your gut. These are all big things to help the body to detoxify. There are definitely certain supplements or foods that you can use. Foods itself, specific, start with like your dirty dozen, which I've listed down there below. Your specific foods, this is what the dirty dozen is. You're looking at that dirty dozen itself. That dirty dozen are foods that you want to have organic because they are highly toxic. So, and then the clean 15 are the ones that you can do without them being organic. But start there. Start even with just making sure you're getting that dirty dozen always in organic. Washing your foods, putting it in the baking soda, letting it sit for 20 to 30 minutes will help limit things that you're getting in. These are all just simple things that you can kind of tweak, and this has nothing to do with if you're taking in sugar or not. Foods that fermented foods, sprouted foods, bitters, proteins, beets greens, prepared appropriately, those things all help the body to detoxify. Your food and the way you source your food can make either toxic load or detoxing. I will say, even healthy foods, if you are not doing well within your gut health, your bacteria and how they're converting your foods can still be toxic. So, first and foremost, starting with gut and making sure gut is doing well. The best way I would say is if you have indigestion, any of that, boosting those proper digestive factors will bring a balance back to your bacteria. Getting in your fermented foods. If you notice that you're burping, you're gassy a lot, and you're having indigestion issues, sometimes boosting that apple cider vinegar with a couple of ounces of water. And you can start with just a few drops to help get bacteria and stomach acidity to boost up. There's a lot of supplements out there too. Zypan, who helps to boost your stomach acidity. Betaine hydrochloride, which also boosts stomach acidity. Um, there are a lot of various things that you can do, and they're really dependent on the person. Even like the Cal Ammo that Standard Process does. If you're someone without a gallbladder, your biles are huge for helping the body remove toxins and such from the body as well. So these are just a few things here to kind of support you. Tomorrow, the next day, next year, party, do a bunch of things that you shouldn't do. We want to do things differently and we want to be healthy. So do it now. I don't even care if that's like, fine, I'm no longer going to drink out of plastic. I'm going to do my stainless steel or glass containers. That is a big thing. And it doesn't have to like derail anything you're going to enjoy for our Christmas. I'm going to start making sure I get my organic foods for the dirty dozen and making sure those are always organic. I'm going to start adding in some fermented foods. Simple things can make a massive difference. If you guys want help with what you need to do specifically and where to start, because starting in the gut is the first and foremost, and then boosting up liver and kidneys is also very big. Doing these things, you can do a survey that's free and I can give you feedback on that. You can also set up an appointment, come in, and I can give you foods recommendations. I can do supplements that I would recommend and create a game plan for you. It is so important for your health to have some of that guidance and support from someone who knows how to direct you and the ins and outs, because there's so much information out there and most of it's just general information that helps most people. But when it comes to the specifics of what you need, some people have an overactive immune system and they need calming. Some people have an underactive immune system and need some boosting there. So everyone's very specific in what they need to do. So if you need any help, do the symptom survey and I can give you an email with some guidance. That way it gives me some information what's going on with you. or come in and do an appointment. It's so worth it. Tons of information, and I'd love to help you out. I hope you guys are all having a great kickoff to the holiday season and you're staying healthy. We'll talk to you guys later.